Yo, so this is an in-depth guide on how to restring your guitar. I'm going to be taking you through unwinding the strings first, to getting them off, and then, obviously restringing. If you miss any points, don't worry, because I'm showing you every string on the guitar, so there's chance for me to clarify it further. Because I can only post 15 minutes of video on YouTube, this will be a two-part video. So the second part will cover the high strings, the G, B and E strings, and some tricks on how to restring those thinner strings, and also how to keep your guitar in tune once it's been fully stringed up. Grab string winder cutter thing. So first off, you probably want this tool. It's pretty cheap. I think it's only a few bucks off Amazon or whatever, but it has a string winder, so that's for the tuning pegs. You can wind up real quick with that one, and then it's got a peg puller for the bridge to pull these ones out, and then it's got a string cutter as well. So yeah, I'll just restring this one and I'll show you what I do as I go along. Alright, so first you want to just loosen off all the strings. And once it's pretty loose, you just get the pin puller from the bridge, get it under there, and then give it some leverage and pull up on it, and then just keep your peg handy, don't lose it. Get the string out, get it out there. First one done. I'll probably just unwind all of them with my fingers, it's a bit easier. But doing them up, it's a lot quicker when you're using this thing. But undoing it, it's probably quicker just using your fingers. Yeah, it's pretty loose there. You can see like there's no real tension on it, and then you can just pop it out. That one, and then a little trick to get it out like easily is just keep winding it out of the post, and then it'll just pop out. Probably loose enough. Last one. Cool, all the strings are off, so now you can clean it if you want and do sort of maintenance work on it, but I'm just going to leave it and restring it, and I'll just show you that now. I'll be chucking on the Elixir acoustic strings, light gauge 12 to 53. So a good thing to do is to chuck all your strings in order. You probably can't see, but I've got them all in order there. And then I've got all my pins back here in a pile. Everything's all here to be used. You want to make sure you're doing this also on either carpet or just a soft surface, so that you're not scratching up the guitar. That's very important as well. Yeah, so obviously you go your lightest, which is the 12, to your heaviest, 53. So 53 is on the top of the guitar, obviously the heaviest string. So just work your way up, the 12 on the bottom. I'm gonna start with the heaviest one though first, the big E string up here, which is the 53. And then when you're putting the peg back in, it has that little groove. I don't know if you can see it there, see that groove? Yeah, you just wanna line that up facing down the guitar so that the string can come out of it. You don't want it facing on an angle or anything, just try to keep it as straight as you can. So you pop that one in, push the peg in fully. Peg's wanting to come out. Try a different one. It's not good. I don't know if you can see that, but when I pull the string, the peg's lifting. It shouldn't do that, it should be tight in there. So I just got that guitar. It's my first time restringing it. But the problem I had was, this was the guitar I used to have, and the pins were really tight. They didn't fit how they're supposed to fit. So bridge pins should actually be a little bit loose, like not so loose that they wiggle around, but you don't want them super tight because that can create problems with how the string sits, and then obviously that makes problems with the tension, and then it can cause buzzing. So I'll just try to work with it anyway. Yeah, so just wind until the whole of the post is facing down the fretboard so the string can feed straight through. And these top strings all go anti-clockwise. So you're turning the pegs away from yourself, not towards yourself when you're tightening. It's just lifting. When I was stringing up, I left the pin loose. It kept popping up. It never fell out, but every time it popped up and I was tightening it up, I'd try to push it back in, and that seemed to do the trick. So I've got that first string up, and you'll see on it as well, there are 2 winds. I don't know if you can see that string wraps around the post 2 times. And that's what you want for your low E string, the big bassy E string. Yeah, so you want that, and I'll go into detail about that now. I'm gonna do this next string now, the A string. What I do with the pin is I first push in the string. These are ball end strings, most are. Push that in, and then if you put it on a bit of an angle this way, and you push it all the way in, so it's gone through the hole, if you lean it back and you pull, you can feel it get caught on the bridge bracing on the bottom. If you've got it caught there, then you can chuck your pin in. I've got a grooved pin, so I'm gonna chuck that in there, and the groove always facing forward along the guitar. That pin will go down, push in, and I'm gonna pull that string up while pushing the pin down so that the ball is on the end of that pin, so it's tight up against it. And yeah, the pin might slip a little bit, but you can't really do much about that. Got the wrong string, stupid. Oh yeah, so ball in, get it caught on that bracing there. See, I'm pulling, but it's not moving because it's caught. It's not sliding out. Push that pin in, and then pull it up, and push the pin down while you're pulling up. Bring it along. Get this end, this one. Get the peg facing. See that hole? It's moving as I turn. It facing forwards now. So get that as straight as you can. Yeah, that's about bang on. And then you can feed that string straight through it. This pin's not slipping as much, so that's good. The other one was a bit of a pain, that E string. Yeah, so once you push it through, on the A string, I like to get 2 to 3 winds. So I'll go through the list. So the E string, the low E, is 2. The A string, I do about 2 to 3 winds. The D string is about 2 to 3 winds. G string's about 3 to 4. B, 3 to 4 winds. E, 3 to 4 winds. So that's how many winds I like to aim for around each post. And the way I get that wind, so I know what number, is think about a string wind. So think about the post, right? How much string do you reckon would it take to wrap around the post? About that much. That'd be about 1 string wind. And then you grab with your other finger, grab there. So there's your string wind. You grab, do about another string wind. That's 2. And this one's 2 to 3 winds, so I just give it a little bit more. And then you can push that one all the way back through until you hit there. Some people chop the string off. I don't like to do that in case it slips. So I'll just, I'll bend that string up there so we know what kind of length we need. And then that'll keep it out your way as well. So that string's bent up, out your way. So this is the guitar sitting sort of flat. You can see the headstock bends back. Some guitars go straight. Some guitars have a flat headstock. You want to push down on the string. As we're tightening, obviously, we're tightening anti-clockwise for these top 3 strings. Yes, you hold down while tightening. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this pushing down also makes sure that the string's always going underneath. They're not overlapping or anything. Yeah, once it gets tight, you can just let go. Obviously still pretty loose. Yeah, and then you grab your tuner out and tune it, which I'm gonna do right now. Now that those are strung up, you wanna get your string cutter and then yeah, just chop off the excess. I like to leave a good inch so that if the string does somehow slip when you're playing, it won't fall through the pegs. So I cut about that much. So you still got a little bit of string there. Cut them off, get them out of the way. Yeah, so you just go down with each string doing that. Yeah, so for this one again, I'm on the D string now, and I just fed the string through, get it onto that catch point underneath, get the pin, push it down into the hole, pull up on the string, pushing down on the pin, and then yeah, just feed it through the post. But we got to get the post straight first. Alright, so the post, that hole is now straight down the neck. You can poke the string down. Do that. It's also a skill that takes time to get right. I still get frustrated with it. Once you're doing it pretty often, it becomes pretty easy. So this is meant to have about 2 to 3 winds. This is the D string. So we'll just do that. That's about 1 there. It's about 1. Grab it, give it 1 more, and give it a little half one, and then push it through, and then bend it up. It's hard to see, but bending out the way. So it's got a fair bit of slack there. You don't want it to be tight, otherwise it'll only wind around the post like 1 time. Pushing that string down up as high as you can. On the headstock, you don't want to be back here. You want to be up closer to the string so that the string's pushing down and going around the post rather than slipping up and the string gets all crossed up and it's just a pain. Yeah, so obviously going anti-clockwise still, the top 3 strings. That bend actually just slipped through the hole in the peg. I had to loosen it off and redo it, it just slipped. So it's a bit of trickery, but sometimes you gotta hold that string while you're turning the peg. Gotta multitask a bit. It's just slipped again. Yeah, so it slipped again, so I unwound it fully. It's a bit bent up there, you can see. I'm just gonna try fix it. So I'll calculate those winds again. 1, 2 and a half. Push it through. Sometimes you just gotta bend it a little bit more. It's not bent enough, so I'm just gonna keep bending it. That string at that bend point that I made. That's the bend point. And then that won't fall through the peg now. Just gotta tune it up to the right pitch. Alright, got that string on, it's tuned up, cut the size, about 1 inch. Watch part 2 for the rest of the video, where I discuss the last 3 strings. How to restring those strings because they're thinner. The strings slip through the tuning post a lot easier. And also a trick on how to keep the guitar in tune once it's been fully tuned up and restrung.